This is just AMZN for Tuesday, August 10th, 2021. So we opened up and had a really nice high wave candle, inside candle, and broke out. And I'm zoomed out looking at this because when we broke out going bullish, we really quickly got to the point that we were overbought on the RSI. We were pushing a little bit past the hammers, inverted hammers from yesterday, this upper wick, this candle with a shaved top, nearly shaved top. And my gut was saying, man, this looks like it might want to run, but I don't think it's going to. Like, it could get up back up to this line. But there's some solid resistance here. So we pushed through that a little bit, and then we started to roll over. When it was doing that, I'm going to zoom back in here. So we know that's resistance. We know it sold off. But I was looking at this, and this is ever so slightly like a double top shape. So you have a peak, right? 89.25, 88.7, 90.34. So it does this little tiny dip. It's really hard to see. There, there's a tiny dip. It goes back up. And I was watching this to have any sort of a retest, like a double top shape. This is what I'm looking for. And yes, I know it's before 10 o'clock, but I was eyeing this. This is the retest that I'm looking at with the RSI. If this tagged above, if it got back above overbought here, I would have been in this. I was, and I should have been, because looking at this candle, it's like, oh, that's such a good candle. And then it broke down. So yeah, this was where I really wanted to get in. But the other issue was the amount of risk. So this is 905. Let's go look at 905 and then the next candle on the put. So the 3,300 put at 905, look at how small a candle this was. And then the next candle put in a nice little low at 830. So you really could have just set it up with the range of this candle, like getting in at the closing price of this candle, which was 875. If you got in 875 and a stop $1 below 775, it would have worked. I didn't like that the $7 price, or the low was $7 way over here, like just the candle before. It's not that long ago, but this had the momentum to keep going. There was a little bit of the retest thing going on here. So you have, again, a dip. It moves up, comes back down, and then it goes up. And this one didn't retest till over here. So the put had a totally different shape with the RSI. But this would have been, I would have been in this at, yeah, man, if this came down a little bit more on this candle, even if it came down into the $7 range, I probably would have been buying, because then I would have had a stop below 7. So it came down to like 750. I would have been in that and a stop down at 650 and just let it run. And actually, I would have been getting out at 3R, which would have been like 1050. And that was right back up to the open high. So that would have been a really nice place to be getting out. And I would have missed out on a bunch of this unless I had canceled my target, let it run, looking for 8R instead, which would have pushed it up to like 1550. That would have been here. So I still wouldn't have sold the top, which you're never going to sell the top, right? Or rarely. Similar shape here. This one did not have a dip in the middle. So this technically is not like a double top shape. It did a retest here on the same candle. It was much lower. It went from the overbought much further back down to the middle of the range here, and then just continued to go down. What I did like about the call is that this bullish candle retested right back into the low of the open. And that's really similar to what happened on Amazon on the 5-minute. This candle retesting actually a little bit higher than the open, but back into the closing price of yesterday. So the close here was 33.41.33. The close on this candle, 33.41.25. So pennies away. And then this was a shaved top candle, basically the same place, 33.41.50. So this was solid resistance right here. Once this retested, held this level, and then sold off with a shaved top candle, that was it. It's not going back up to here. So it just sold off from there. There are some great opportunities. The other thing you could have done to play this, obviously, I didn't get into this one. You can just go out a little bit further. You can go out to 3250. It's a little ways away, but the range is better. It doesn't have the same shape, so you're definitely going off of the RSI of the stock versus this option. But this is something I would be much more comfortable getting into this at 905 or 910, buying at like 350, stop down at 250, and that still would have been a 3R gain. I still could have gotten a 3R gain. I don't remember if there's 70, no 75, so like maybe 70. See if there's any volume there. Not much volume. So it does totally go sideways here. Could probably set it up and try to get in at 5. I don't know if it would have filled unless you're getting it filled on the 910 candle. The other thing you can do is go out a little further and next week. So like 32, where are we at here? So what was going on for next week's 3,200 at 905. So this is good. So you could have been buying this at like 675, 7, buy at 7, stop down at 6. I'd be okay with that because this moves much slower. It's still at a really nice gain. I mean, it still went from, you could have gotten from 7 up to 10 and been out maybe in this candle, maybe in that candle, definitely in that candle, for a nice 3R. So you're just out a little bit further. 3250 is probably a little bit expensive. Yeah, so this, well, it still would have worked. That would have been buying at like 12, which you would have had to get the low. And no, it was 1207. So I don't think 12 would have filled. And then you're stopped down at 11, which would have been the same as the low. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Maybe 25. Nope, no 25. 30. There's no 30. 32. There's 3250 and a 3200, but there's no 32. There's nothing else in between. That's gonna take a sec. That's crazy. 3,200 to 3,250. Okay, and then there's like missing strikes in here for monthly expiration, and then so these are like every 10. This is 10. This is 20. This is 20. This is 50. This is 30, and then it goes 5s. That's really bizarre. I do not know why they're numbered that way, but that could be interesting if we go down. So back to this, actually, let me just go to the daily. If we go down, we're going to have a hard time in the 3,200, 3,250 range unless they add more strikes next week, for next week. I mean, we're continuing. So if this continuation down looks anything like, I compared it to this candle, and then we had a move up, and then a, indecisive candle, and then it moved up, and then it moved up. If we do that going down, and I'm just saying if, we're going to get into the 3,200 to 3,250 range. And there's not option strikes there for next week. So it's just interesting to see what the market makers are going to do. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to work. So I know I'm kind of all over the place on this one. Sorry it's so late. Had some storms going through this area and lost power. But still, I got it back and still want to do one of these today. So hope this helps. This is Just AMZN.